Hey, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
If you're watching us on Zoom, you'll see that the pretty lady in the middle is not Dan. That is
No, it's
Susan
not me.
Norris, by the way of Rescuing Hope. Susan, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Good. It's good to talk to you. We are slap dab in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, and I don't think we've had a chance really to chat with you about what's going on with Rescuing Hope and you and Mark and the kids. How you guys surviving? You and Mark are socially isolated. Are you both home at the same time, or is he still?
No, we're both home. He's an introvert, and he's always in meetings, be it Zoom or on his phone. So he's just peachy because he's doing the same thing that he's doing. He's just doing it at home. The extrovert is about to lose my mind. I Zoom a lot, so I see people, and then. So that I am social distancing, which really kills me. I take a lot of drives in my car because I was walking 4 to 5 miles a day, and until I fell and fractured my ankle.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, I'm in a lovely little boot now. So the walking is put on pause for a few weeks. So I take nice drives. Try and get as far out in the country so I can pretend this is not really going on.
Now, did Mark trip you, or did you actually fall on your own?
No, we were walking through a neighborhood, and we've only been in our home about a year, so we're constantly looking for landscaping ideas. And also, as we were walking through the neighborhood, we were looking at different places. We went down a road we'd not walked down yet, and it didn't have the curb, so the asphalt just broke and my foot hit it because I was not looking at my foot. I was looking at the landscaping, and I just, one minute I'm up looking, the next minute my face is this far from the asphalt.
Oh,
and it's
wow.
like,
Migration.
okay, that happened quickly. And, I'm stubborn, so it took 2 weeks before I saw the orthopedist. Which,
Now,
I just
Susan.
thought it was a simple sprain, and then I found out it was an ankle avulsion fracture. And
Wow.
yeah, so, but
Well, we'll be praying that you get back on your feet pretty soon. No pun intended.
I
There.
appreciate that. But as far as Rescuing Hope, we've done a great job, as a staff staying on point and meeting, but it's really, really been hard for the survivors that we serve. Most of them lost their positions if they had jobs. Those that were looking for jobs, that kind of came to a screeching halt because it's not exactly a booming time to hire people.
Right.
And so they're struggling, obviously, with the rent and power bills and putting food on the table. And we've lost some donors because it's just like the body circles the central organs. When crisis hits, people circle the wagons and take care of the home front. And I understand that. But some of that has caused people to have to stop their monthly donor gift to us. But God's faithful. We've also gotten some nice checks from people who have never gifted to Rescuing Hope.
Oh, that's
So,
good.
and a lot of people have been mailing us gift cards. We always ask for $25 gift cards to Kroger or Walmart because those are, or Visa gift cards, because those are places that our survivors can shop and get. And they tell us those are the best prices for the groceries, that they get more at those places. And so we've been mailing out gift cards. We've done, we do a support dinner with them every month. And so we told them, make your dinner and call into Zoom. And everyone who called in, we mailed them a grocery gift card to give them incentive to stay connected, because it's isolation can be very triggering for a survivor. So they're dealing with a lot of PTSD, and normally that's when we can come in and offer a hug or go for a walk or take a hike with them, and we can't do those things.
Now, I assume because of the COVID-19 and the quarantine, I would assume that the sex trafficking industry doesn't slow down like the rest of industry. Is that correct?
Oh, no, it does not slow down at all. I did a ride along with a law enforcement officer out in Cobb County, and she said, that the petty crime and the stuff like that has slowed down, but no, trafficking continues. And there's so many different ways that it can take place. Pornography viewing has increased substantially, and a lot of victims of sex trafficking are forced to produce pornography. So you have that going on. You have webcam porn where someone can call in and be the director of what takes place, which is really, really difficult to even imagine. But no, it's thriving and well. Anytime there's stress on our culture, people are looking for ways to alleviate that. And sadly, many of the victims of sex trafficking become the target for that stress.
Mm. Susan Norris, founder of Rescuing Hope, they enlighten the public about sex trafficking in America. You were talking about the survivors. What have you been telling them just to encourage them? You know, when we first started this, a lot of folks were in panic mode, and that's still around. I mean, there are still folks that are still just totally in Panicsville, if you will, and I understand that. But what are you saying to them to get them to the other side, just kind of strengthen them?
Well, we are encouraging them that they're not alone, that we're in this with them, that we've walked this journey with them thus far, and we're not going to stop now. I do FaceTime calls and Zoom calls with them individually, as does our caseworker, and just check on them. What do you need? Right now, all of the survivors that we are currently serving have professed to be Christians. So because of that, we're able to pray with them and offer that service to them as well, and give them outlets to different church services that are online or prayer services that are online, phone numbers they can call in with their prayer requests for the local churches around them. You know, we've not always had that the case. We don't always have only Christians that we serve. And fortunately, in a very pandemic crisis where there's a lot of fear, we have that to offer to them, because we're very careful not to force our beliefs onto those that we serve, because we believe you have to meet someone's felt needs before you deal with any other type of need that they may have. And we also have been connecting them to complex trauma therapists. Some are doing online therapy through different video programs similar to Zoom, but that are HIPAA compliant. And we have other services that do provide online therapy, even if it's someone that they haven't been going to previously. And then we've encouraged them to support each other and to be there to share recipes. We laugh. We talk to them about how, you know, dinner preparation is like an episode of Chopped. Because, you know, you go in the grocery store and what you normally buy is not there. And so you open your refrigerator and you're like, okay, I've got a butternut squash and, you know, chicken sausage and an onion. What am I going to make? And so, you know, we always ask them, what are you cooking? What are you eating? What are you doing? And just, you know, being our normal goofy selves, making them laugh. Laughter helps you get through a multitude of crises.
Yeah,
definitely. Good. Susan, what about your family? How are they doing? I know your son is up in DC. How's he doing? And what about your daughter?
My son is doing well. He's really connected with his church body up there. He participates in Passion City, DC. And he volunteers, so he's also on their security team. So he's got a Zoom meeting for the security team and a Zoom meeting for the door holders, and he's got a men's Bible study that they do on Zoom. And Sam likes to always be challenged, so he's learning different languages. He bought Rosetta Stone, and you know, so he's getting out, he's exercising, he's doing great. And our daughter is still teaching because Cobb County is still doing online school. So every morning she's sending out lessons. She's answering emails to parents. The parents have been so kind to her. Good. And so appreciative. And she's gotten really sweet emails thanking her. And then it's not required, but she tries to do at least 1 or 2 Zoom calls with her whole class, which is quite comical.
I'm sure. Yeah.
They're like taking the puppy going, look. So she said, classroom management's different. But she'll read a story to them. There was a chapter book they were reading, so she's continued with that. And asking them, what are some unique things that you're doing? Because she recognizes that this is an experience they'll probably never have in their lifetime again, and that there are great things they can learn from it. They're outside of the norm. So, and then she's already getting ready for next year. She's going to be changing grade levels. So she's working on preparation and using this time to ready herself for next year.
That is so cool. Susan Norris, founder of Rescuing Hope. You can go to rescuinghope.com to find out more, and also to give, as you heard her say, that this is the time where a lot of folks are just kind of tightening their belt. That means that sometimes they forget to give or they don't give.
And those gift cards are a great idea. You can do that easily.
Yeah, and these are for the survivors, those that at one point were in sex trafficking, and they have been rescued. Susan, thank you so much. We'll catch up with you in a few weeks, see how you're doing. Hopefully you'll be running marathons again. So
stay on your feet.
If I can stay upright, that would be improvement.
Hey, we'll be back. Guys. Thank you. We'll be right back. You're listening to Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
Stay right there.